Every decision you think you are making right now may already be decided. You did not choose to watch this video. You did not choose what to have for breakfast this morning. You did not choose the career you are in, or the relationships you have, or the beliefs you hold right now. All of it was already set before you were ever conscious of it. That sounds like a wild claim, but the science actually backs it up. And when you add simulation theory to the picture, it becomes even harder to argue against. Here's the core idea. We live inside a simulation, a constructed reality running on something like code. And in that code, every outcome, every choice, every path is already written. The sense of freedom you feel when you make a decision is real to you, but it is just a feature of the program. It is designed to feel like free will. Same way, a character in a video game might have the appearance of choosing a direction, but the developer already wrote every possible outcome into the code before the game ever launched. This is not just a philosophical idea anymore. Neuroscience has shown that your brain makes decisions before you are consciously aware of them. Physics suggests the future may already exist in full detail right now. Simulation theory ties it all together, and what it reveals about your life and your choices is something most people are not ready to hear, but you are here watching this, so you are ready. We are going to go through all of it today, the science, the logic, and what it actually means for how you live your life. If you're ready to uncover the truth behind our simulated universe, hit like and subscribe to join us on a journey through the mysteries of simulation theory. Let's get started. Let's set the foundation here. Simulation theory says our universe is not made of physical matter in the traditional sense. It says reality is more like a program, highly advanced system that generates everything we experience, including our thoughts, our memories, and yes, our decisions. Now, the question of free will has been around for thousands of years. Philosophers argued about it long before computers existed. Ancient thinkers asked whether human beings truly have the ability to choose, or whether everything is determined by prior causes. Whether it is the will of a god, the laws of nature, or pure cause and effect, the debate always came back to the same uncomfortable possibility. Maybe we are not as free as we think we are, but in the past that was just philosophy. Now, in the context of simulation theory, it becomes something much more specific and much more testable. If we are inside a simulation, then whoever built the simulation designed the rules. Those rules include physics, chemistry, biology, and the human brain. And if the brain is just part of the program, then every firing neuron, every emotion, every decision is just the simulation executing its code. You are not choosing. You are running. And the most unsettling part is that modern neuroscience is finding results that match this idea almost exactly. Back in 1983, a researcher named Benjamin Libet ran an experiment that genuinely shocked the scientific community. He found that the brain shows electrical activity preparing for a movement about half a second before the person is consciously aware of deciding to move. The decision happened before the awareness of deciding. That experiment has been repeated and confirmed many times since, and it points to something most of us find deeply uncomfortable. The conscious you that thinks it is in charge may not actually be driving anything. We are going to walk through the key experiments and the key ideas that show free will is not what it appears to be. And we will connect all of it to what simulation theory tells us about why. Here is the challenge that makes this topic so hard to sit with. You feel like you are making choices right now. You feel like you chose to click on this video. Feel like you could stop watching at any moment and do something else. That feeling of being in control is so strong and so constant that most people never question it. But here is the thing. Feelings are not proof. Think about how a video game character might be designed. They might have a full range of animations for walking, running, jumping, resting. The character looks like it has intention. It looks like it is deciding where to go. But every single frame of that character is just code executing the instructions it was given. The appearance of agency is built in to make the experience feel real. Now apply that to yourself. Your sense of choosing is also built in. Simulation generates the feeling of making a decision at the same time it executes the outcome. It gives you the experience of deliberating and choosing so that the simulation feels authentic. The outcome was already the output of a process that began before your consciousness was even involved. This is exactly what Liebet found. Readiness potential, the brain wave that signals a coming action, shows up before the person consciously decides to act. The brain is already in motion before the mind knows about it. So the question is not whether you make choices. The question is who or what is making them. And in a simulation framework, the answer is the program. The program runs, the outcome is generated. Your conscious mind gets a report that it decided. And that report feels completely real because it was designed to feel that way. Think about what that means for every major decision you have ever made. Every relationship you entered, every job you took, every time you thought you changed your life by sheer willpower. Were any of those truly yours? Or were they the simulation running the next line of code, with you experiencing it as a choice? Picture this. You are standing at a crossroads. You have a big decision to make. Maybe it is a job offer in another city. Maybe it is ending a relationship. Maybe it is starting something completely new. You think about it for days. You weigh the pros and cons. You feel the stress and the weight of being the one who has to decide. And then you choose. It feels like the most real thing in the world. It feels like the clearest expression of who you are. But here is what simulation theory says about that moment. Every neuron that fired during your deliberation was following the laws of chemistry and physics. Those laws were written into the simulation from the start. Childhood experiences that shaped your values were already inputs in the system. The fears and hopes that tipped the balance were already variables in your code. Even the feeling of certainty about your choice was just the program reaching a computed output and flagging it as a decision for your conscious mind. You did not choose a path. The path was already the result of everything before it, processed through the system that runs you. That does not make the experience less real. It just means the experience is part of the design. Simulation includes the full inner life of deliberating and choosing and owning your decisions because that inner life is part of what makes the program function properly. It gives you investment in the outcomes. Makes you care about the results. Think about people who have gone through addiction or severe trauma. Many of them describe their worst behaviors as feeling completely out of their control. Something was driving them that was not really them. What if those people were not making excuses? What if they were just more aware than most that the driver of their actions was the program and not the conscious self? And that raises a real and important question. If free will is an illusion that was deliberately built into the program, then what is the purpose of building it in at all? Why would the designers of this simulation go to that much trouble? Here is the answer that simulation theory gives us, and it is a big one. Free will is an illusion, but it is a necessary one. Any simulation designed to generate meaningful data from its participants, the participants have to believe they are making real choices. Otherwise, the data is useless. Think about it. If you knew every one of your choices was already determined, you would stop engaging. You would stop trying. You would stop caring. The simulation needs you fully invested. It needs you to feel the weight of decisions. It needs you to feel the consequences of outcomes. It needs you to act as if everything matters, because that is what produces the richest and most complex outputs from the system. Now, here is where the physics comes in, and this part is crucial. In physics, there is a concept called the block universe. It comes from Einstein's theory of relativity, and it says that the past, present, and future all exist simultaneously. Time does not flow forward the way we experience it. Time is a fixed dimension, like length or width. The entire timeline, from the beginning to the end of the universe, already exists all at once. If that is true, then every decision you will ever make already exists in that block. Your future is not waiting to be written, it is already there. And in a simulation, that block universe model fits perfectly because a simulation does not need to generate outcomes in real time. It already has all the outputs. The experience of choosing and deliberating is just the interface. It is the program letting you feel like you are navigating something that is already complete. And here is the final layer that makes this idea so powerful. If the future already exists and free will is an illusion, the designers of the simulation built all of that in on purpose. Your sense of choice, your sense of ownership, your sense of responsibility are features, not bugs. They are what keep you running the program at full engagement. So here is what we know. Free will, as most people experience it, is an illusion. The neuroscience shows that decisions happen in the brain before conscious awareness ever catches up. Physics of the block universe suggests the future already exists in full right now. The simulation framework ties it all together by explaining why the illusion was built in the first place. It is a design feature. It keeps you engaged, it keeps you invested, it keeps you running the program at full capacity. Now here's what this should actually mean for how you live day to day. Knowing that free will is an illusion does not mean nothing matters. In fact, it means the opposite. Because if you are a participant in a simulation running a deeply complex experience, the choices you feel like you are making are still shaping your path through it. You still feel the outcomes. You still carry the consequences. You still grow or carry regret based on which direction things go. So engage with it fully. Pay attention to the moments where something feels off or where a decision feels unusually heavy. Those are the moments where the program is most active. Those are the moments where something significant is being processed. Pay attention to patterns in your life that keep repeating. The same types of relationships, the same types of obstacles, the same results from completely different situations. Those patterns are the code showing itself to you. And when you start noticing the code, you are getting closer to actually understanding the system you are living inside. And that changes everything about how you see the life you are running through. Now we want to hear from you. Does this idea bother you? Or does it actually give you some relief to think that maybe you are not entirely responsible for every outcome in your life? Drop your honest reaction in the comments below, because this is a topic where every perspective genuinely matters. And we read through what you write. Thoughts on this topic are exactly the kind of conversation we want to build here. If you enjoyed this exploration of simulation theory, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. And if you're ready for more interesting content on the simulation theory, make sure to check out our other videos. Thank you for watching.